Hello, everyone, and welcome to a live Q&A discussion. Let me enable the Q&A before I become a fucking moron. I'm your host, Jimbo, host of Retro Game Lounge. With me is Savage Matt, and we are going to discuss the recently announced Kickstarter for a game that has kind of evolved, actually. This was started as just kind of an indie game that was being developed called Summer Camp. Which more or less was kind of an homage to the 80s slasher flick. Like the guys making it, all the artwork and everything they put up and the teaser trailers made it very, very clear that this was going to be like a throwback to the 80s like VHS days, you know, the heyday of the slasher film. It was set at a summer camp with counselors and everything like that. Every type of stereotypical trope that you would want in one of these games. And recently today, they had a countdown clock counting down to today. They were going to have a mega announcement on October 13th. And that announcement would be that they've officially partnered with Sean S. Cunningham, the owner of the rights to the Friday the 13th franchise, and Summer Camp, as we know it, as in title, is no more. It is officially Friday the 13th, the game. Savage Matt, what do you think about that?
Jason has finally come back to the Retro Game Lounge, and this time it's for a good and happy reason, motherfuckers. Because
Savage Matt is here.
Well, when you hit me with this news today, you made my day very happy, bro. I've been wanting a game like this my whole life, man.
You and me both, dude.
I mean, I sent you this link for the summer camp a couple of months ago, and we were stoked about that. And I was like, holy shit, this is going to be awesome. And then the mind fucked me with, yeah, it's going to be Friday the 13th, the game.
Yep.
Well, I'm pretty excited, as I know you are too, man.
I am very excited right now. As we speak right now, I'm checking on the Kickstarter to see where we're at. And I think it had crossed $100,000 right after holy shit, it's up to $160,000.
Yeah, but it's going up fast.
Holy shit, dude. Okay, so for those of you not in the know, I'm going to include a link to the Kickstarter campaign for this. So those of you watching after the fact, there'll be a link down in the description box. So they got a Kickstarter right now with a pretty ambitious goal of $700,000 to raise to get this thing funded with 31 days to go. Today is day one. It is literally already up to $160,000 before the end of the first day. So they are almost almost a third, you know, the way there before the close of the 24 hours. And I'm sure it's going to close in on $200,000 before the stroke of midnight Eastern Standard Time. So the odds of this thing getting funded, I would say, are pretty damn good. They're off to a phenomenal start. They've got a wide variety of packages. The game itself, if you just want it in digital format, is very reasonably priced. It's actually only $25. And it will be that's an insanely low price when you think about it for a fucking next generation game. It will be available on Xbox One, on PlayStation 4, and as well as on PC through digital download. And like I said, they've got a bunch of different packages. If you just want to contribute to the campaign, like $5, you know, just to see this thing make it to fruition, just so you can say you contributed, got the thing going. Get a couple little things like some wallpaper and things like that. If you want to get the game, like I said, it's $25, and they've got a bunch of different things all the way up to $10,000 where you can actually be in the game. Which, if I were a millionaire, dude, me as a counselor, it would be a fucking privilege to get killed by Jason Voorhees. It really would. That's like being in Jaws and getting eaten by the shark. I mean, like, that's what you want. You know, that's what everybody wants. That's what all the actors in the movie, that's what they would want. So I personally went for the package. Guys, look around me. Obviously, I'm a collector. I like my physical copies. They do have a couple different tiers where you can actually get a limited edition physical copy, one of which being just the physical copy and a handful of other digital things. They have a tier above that where you can actually get a special skin of Jason with a unique weapon designed by the fucking Splattermaster himself, Tom Savini, which will be unique to Kickstarter. According to them, it will not be released otherwise. So either you get in on it before this thing finishes, or it is gone. And the tier above that, which is the one that I jumped in on, it's $99. You get the physical copy, and you get all that extra DLC. I was like, I'm not going to choose between physical copy and Tom Savini. Like, fuck that shit. I'm going to pull the trigger, $100. Fuck you, take my money. I've been waiting for this game my whole life. So for those of you not in the know, anyone who's not been following Summer Camp, man, it's a fucking dirt simple concept that I will personally guarantee you is going to change the face of multiplayer, dude. This is the fucking next level shit that a lot of guys like me who don't really dig on multiplayer, this is going to be the game chaser. I guarantee it. So basically, you got one person playing Jason who is ridiculously overpowered. Like, obviously, face to face, him against an opponent, he's going to fucking rip him apart. But then, correct me if I'm wrong on this, Savage Matt, but I believe they said it was 5 counselors? 7?
7, yeah.
7, excuse me. So 7 counselors who can either work independently, which I personally would not advise, or you can actually work as a team to try and take Jason down. And as I understand it, it is possible to kill Jason. It's going to be a little bit of a fucking tall order, but each of the counselors apparently has strengths and weaknesses. Like, there's going to be the jock, you know, who's, of course, in every one of these movies, like, obviously that guy's going to hit the hardest. He's going to have the hardest melee. So if Jason gets on you, he probably stands the best chance of knocking him loose so that you can run. The geek, you know, the smart guy who's going to be good at fixing cars or fixing the phone line to call the cops. Like, they're working all this shit into the game. Like, there's several different ways that apparently that this scenario can play out. And then, of course, you have the hero girl who apparently has the highest chance of killing Jason. You know, the typical slasher movie heroine. So there's all kinds of ways that this thing can go. Of course, I think it goes without saying that the counselors are going to be faster than Jason. It wouldn't be fair if he could run as fast as they can. The counselors have to be able to run faster. But I'm sure that he's going to have some perks where he can kind of pop in and pop out kind of unseen, you know, all the slasher movie tropes where he just kind of appears out of nowhere, you know, that kind of thing. That will give him a little bit of an advantage. So, you know, if you're in a room to get an item or something like that and you think it's clear and you hear a fucking noise or something like that, you turn around, it might be him like bursting through the window to come and like rip your fucking head off or something like that. But dude, we cannot talk about this, Savage Matt, without talking about who's involved. I mean, this is the fucking dream team.
Hard hitters, baby.
I mean, we're talking not only industry veterans, but when it comes to a Friday the 13th game or Friday the 13th anything, like these 3 people, or these 4 people, I should say, are the people that you would want involved, correct?
Can't get any better than this, dude.
No, I mean, this is the fucking A team. Okay, so let's run the cast list, shall we? Okay. First and foremost, we have the man who will forever be identified with the role of Jason. He holds the record for playing him the most times. If I remember correctly, it's 4 different Friday the 13th movies, maybe 5. It's at least 4. I know that.
Yeah, it's definitely 4. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
Yeah, it's at least 4. So I mean, he's the guy that people, horror movie fans like us, identified. This dude's fucking Jason. End of discussion. That would be Mr. Kane Hodder, who apparently is going to be providing the mocap for Jason. So everything that you see in this game, as far as Jason's movements, the way he does things, the grunts, the noises, and everything like that, is going to be legit, straight from the guy who basically created the modern incarnation of Jason Voorhees as we know it.
And his stunt team is going to be coordinating the camp counselors.
Exactly. A lot of people don't know this. Kane Hodder, other than playing Jason, is also a very accomplished stuntman. He owns his own stunt team. He, to this day, still is a stunt coordinator for Hollywood movies. So other than, you know, running around and being the most prolific, you know, serial killer on the fucking silver screen, you know, the guy is a stuntman, you know, basically to make ends meet with 30 plus years experience. Last time he checked, this guy really knows his stuff. So that wraps up that part of it. But someone's knocking at my door. I'm not expecting anyone, so I don't know who it is. But dude, it's 7:36 at night. I don't care. So anywho, let's see. On the same token, we have Tom Savini, the splatter master. I mean, like the guy who basically invented the gore effects for the modern splatter movie. Agreed?
One of my favorite special effects guys, dude. I love that fucking guy.
This guy pretty much started the genre of splatter effects. I mean, let's see, let's run the dossier here. Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, Maniac, the first Friday the 13th. Yeah. Didn't he come back for like part 4 or something like that? He came back for one of the other ones.
Yeah, I think he did the one maybe with Tommy in it when he was a kid.
That's right. Okay. So we got Tom Savini, and he is basically, as I understand it, he is the technical consultant on this as far as the kills, the whole splatter effects and everything like that. Like we're using like this dude's brain and this guy's 40 plus years of experience of doing splatter movies to basically come up with a fresh, inventive take on kills. And as I understand it, they're going to be very, very, very different to situations, stuff like that. Like if you're near the lake, he can drown you. You know, if he catches you offhand, you know, you might catch a machete or something like that. Like you can use his environment. And this is literally coming from the guy who wrote the book on that. Literally, he has actually written a book on this. He's a published author. He owns his own effects school and everything like that. Like this dude is the fucking godfather of modern horror films. And he's pretty much the creative consultant on this as far as the kills are concerned. So for my money, Savage Matt, I think it's in good hands. I think we're gonna have some carnage fucking candy when it comes to kills.
Dude, they said Jace could choke somebody, and while you have him in midair, smash his face repeatedly against a tree until he's dead.
If I wasn't already in before, I would definitely be in after hearing that.
Dude,
I'm in. That's when I think of a Friday the 13th movie, that's what I think of.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the shit. So that's Tom Savini. Then of course we have Mr. Harry Manfredini, accomplished composer. But let's be honest here. The thing that he's going to be most famous for, probably for the rest of his life, and this is definitely something cool to be famous for. Kill, kill, kill. Ma, 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 ma. This is the guy who came up with it. Yep. So, I mean, the original guy who wrote the score is back to do the music for this game. So it's straight from the fucking musical cradle of this guy's brain. Everything in this game is just going to line the fuck up, you know, with the way that you want this to be. And not most importantly, and not forgetting Mr. Sean S. Cunningham, the godfather, I guess you could say, of the Friday the 13th series. The original producer still holds the rights to it to this day. And as I understand it, he basically came across summer camp just by happenstance. And he contacted them. He reached out to them and he was just, you know, inquiring about it because he was interested. And basically one thing led to another. And since these guys didn't have a lot of money, he more or less gave them permission to use the license for this. Like, I'm sure they went through legal clearance and stuff like that, but he pretty much handed over and said, like, just make it a good game.
Yeah, make a fucking good game, boys.
Make it a good game. So I'm sure he gets a cut of the back end or something like that. But I mean, yeah, let's be honest here. Summer camp on its own probably would have done pretty well. Guys like you and me were their bread and butter. We'd snatch that up in a fucking heartbeat. Under the heading of Friday the 13th opens this to a much broader audience. I mean, this became affiliated with arguably the most famous horror franchise ever. You know, I mean, it's up there with Nightmare on Elm Street as far as I'm concerned. It's probably they're number one and number two as far as the most recognizable shit in horror ever. So that obviously is going to bring in a even larger base of fans who might not even have known about summer camp. You know, they'd be like, wait a minute, you're making a Friday the 13th game and you actually get to play as Jason? Here's my fucking money, sir. Like, do you want a blowjob too? So it's, I mean, this everything seems to be falling in line like tumblers in a lock. Like everything is falling into place exactly the way old school horror fans like Matt and I have been like dreaming about since we were kids.
No, dude, this is a real dream for me because where I grew up, they filmed the first movie a town over for me where my grandparents lived. So like the diner in that movie, I played Little League Baseball behind that, like my whole youth. Fucking my grandparents lived right up the road, right that little town in the beginning. That's Blairstown, like where the bridge where she's walking across and all that shit's still there, dude.
That's crazy.
And, the camp was right there, you know, a couple miles up the road from there, Camp No B Bosco. And all that shit's still the same too, man.
That's insane.
Yeah, we used to fucking break into there when teenage years, fucking run around like maniacs. And they used to have like scares up there with people like Jason Mass running through the woods, fucking with the campers and shit, dude.
Wow, what I would give to do that.
A lot of cool shit, man. So this is really exciting for me, like me, and you know, I know a bunch of my friends that I've told already are like, holy shit. And what's cool about the Kickstarter, like the money that they're raising right now isn't to make the full game. Like the meat of the game is there.
Right.
Because they said they tested out summer camp and people were fucking loving it.
Yeah.
And they're just this is just like a little mask to put over this, just Friday the 13th.
Right. apparently, as I understand it, when they were beta testing this thing or even alpha testing, people legitimately were scared. Like we're talking like people were like let out screams because the jumps in this are so well coordinated that like Jason came through a window and grabbed somebody. They're like, ah, you know, like, I mean, they apparently really know what they're doing. This is a couple of younger guys, you know, some young, hungry fucking wolves trying to make a name for themselves. And I mean, based on the interviews that I saw, man, you saw them too. These guys, it seems like us, like they're fans of this shit. They grew up with this shit the same way we did. And it's like their dream come true to get to make this fucking game and be part of it. So I for my money, dude, this could not be in better hands. I mean, it really could not. I mean, this would be like a Nightmare on Elm Street game getting made and like Wes Craven being the technical director.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, that's the guy you want involved to handle this and make sure they don't fuck it up. So I am so beyond excited for this, guys. It's, if you haven't contributed to the Kickstarter, man, if this thing is at all your thing, if you like slasher movies, if you like horror games, or, you know, if you just like multiplayer and playing as like a crazed retard strong serial killer and just ripping fucking teenagers apart while they're making out in bushes and shit, dude, this game is going to scratch so many itches. Balls, taint, back, ass, asshole, you know, this has got you covered, I promise.
Yeah, and even if you don't like this shit, just tell people about it, because there's so many people into this, and the more people that know, man, this fucking game, the sky's the limit on this game, dude. Like, what if you're playing, I hope they put this in there, dude, you're playing 7-on-1 versus Jason, right? You're like, what if you could sacrifice someone to Jason to save your own ass? You know what I'm saying?
I would do it.
That's what they're saying. They're saying there's multiple ways to get out of a level. Like you could fix cars, boats, or like I don't fucking know what else. But so you need like all these different type of people to work together. But what if you're the piece of shit that, you know, you got the nerd working on the boat, he gets it to work, Jason's coming on the dock, you fucking throw his ass to Jason, jump on the boat and take off, dude. Like shit like that. You can either work together, fuck people. There's so much shit you could do, dude.
I'm not gonna lie, that would totally be me. I'm gonna look out for number one. Like, I'll work as a team until you become a problem.
Yeah, until you're done.
Yeah, it's like, dude, if it's you or me, I'm picking me every goddamn time. I'm telling you that much. I'm never not picking me. So
I guess there's more classes that they haven't announced yet either. There's gonna be a couple more, like
sure, I'm sure
3 or 4 more.
They have said that there are going to be stretch goals, which I'm sure we're probably going to hear about within the week, I would say, because this thing has literally hit the fucking ground running. Probably $1 million would be the first stretch goal. That'd be obvious, you know, because if they make it past 700 grand, the next milestone would be $1 million. They have said if they can get to a certain point, they're going to add a stretch goal of a single player thing, like maybe a horde style mode or something like that, something outside the multiplayer. Where maybe you can play as a team and Jason is like a bot or something like that, which, again, that would still be interesting. I would still play that. That would still be fun. You know, because, I mean, a lot of the times it's harder to beat the computer than it is a person. The computer knows all the tricks. They know all the exploits and everything like that. That could be a bigger challenge.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it goes without saying that this I can't talk today, that this thing is going to get funded. I think that is pretty damn certain at this point, given that we are less than 24 hours into it. And let me check on the goal here. Let's see. Just in the time that we've been talking, Savage Matt, they've raised an additional $2,500. Holy shit, I wish I made money that fast.
I know, right?
The retro game lounge would be a hell of a lot bigger than this. I can tell you that much. So I'd have even more useless shit. But dude, I cannot be more excited about this, guys. Please, even it, like Matt said, even if you're not, this thing is not your thing, dude. If you got we all have a friend who's into horror. Everyone's got one. It's like having a gay cousin. Everybody's fucking got one. Just be like, dude, sure about the Friday the 13th game? Oh, it's a fucking Kickstarter, man. Like, you only have to give $5 to be part of it. I don't know why I sound like Doug McKenzie right there, but whatever. Anyways, I mean, just, dude, tell someone about it. Fucking Facebook this shit. Like, get the freaking word out there, man, so that guys like us get to reap the rewards of this. This is seriously like our fucking 10 commandments when it comes to video games, man. This is the end game. Horror is finally coming full circle in video games and getting the fucking respect that it deserves. You know, comic books, They've already taken over movies. Guys like me and Matt, we've been waiting for this our whole lives. We're like, yeah, we fucking told you. Yeah, we're not nerds anymore. We knew it the whole time. I don't know why nerds talk like that and they all wear glasses. I don't know. I'm being a stereotype. But guys, horror movies, man. I mean, yeah, we had a little resurgence with the Scream that kind of brought the slasher franchise back from the dead. But guys, this is old school American horror, man. This is where it's at. This is the fucking meat and potatoes of horror movies. You know, from the 80s, which was the best franchise for horror, best decade for horror movies, man. Just more horror than you could fucking shake a stick at. Most of it was absolute crap. And by the way, you can watch most of it on this show that Matt and I do called Dirt Flicks. So be sure and tune in for that, where we watch the worst of the fucking worst on Dirt Flicks. Dude, you know what we got to do? You know what we got to do to celebrate this? We got to find a fucking Friday the 13th movie on there, dude.
Oh, no problem.
That needs to be like the next thing, like just our crescendo, you know, to send people out like, guys, go fucking raise this Kickstarter. Then we get to see this motherfucker kill people and we get to do it ourselves. And dude, I gotta say, dude, I'm excited to play as Jason. I love scaring people. I really do. Like in real life, I love scaring people. Anyone who saw the Grudge thing I did yesterday with my buddy Tommy, I love fucking scaring the shit out of people. I have loved that since I was a little kid. Like hiding in the closet, like, ah, jumping out. It's always given me a thrill. But I got to tell you what, man, I am equally excited to play a camp counselor because it's like the ultimate game of hide and seek where literally your ass is on the line if you get fucking caught. I mean, you don't want to fuck up. And you can't just hide and stay hidden, dude. You got to get your ass the fuck out of Dodge. So
yeah, the goal is get the fuck out.
Yeah, the goal is get out. So you might have to be like, oh, we got to go over to this woodshed and start the generator and stuff. It's like, oh, fuck. Like, you know, that is really, this is going to bring almost a new layer of morality into video games because you're going to have to decide who does that. You know, like one person goes over to do that, then another person's got to do this. And you're like, oh, fuck. You know, it's going to literally be like being in a horror movie, like who draws the damn short straw? You know, and it could play out like one of a bajillion different ways. It's going to be a different experience every single time, which, guys, I'm not big on multiplayer. I'm really not. I think it's so fucking played out. And this is the injection into the fucking arm. This is the fucking heroin that I think multiplayer needs right now. Just something that gives you competitive multiplayer, but totally spins it on its fucking head and does something radically different. I mean, we're talking about 7-on-1 here. I mean, other than Evolve, which is obviously the elephant in the room. Yeah, okay. Did that bring something new to the table? Yes. They totally hoard themselves out with the fucking game and be like, oh, you have to pay for fucking everything just to play the game. But it's shit like that, guys, that 15 years from now is going to be the future of multiplayer. It's not just going to be teams or every man for himself or something like that. There's going to be a fucking menu when it comes to this stuff where there's going to be different layers. It's going to be like an onion, man, just different things, different little facets of multiplayer and things like this, little subgenres. So there's literally going to be something for everybody, even for guys like me who hate multiplayer because most people play online are fucking assholes. Yeah, I said it. You're assholes. Little fucking kids who have nothing better to do. This is something for guys like me and Matt because it's not really about the competitive multiplayer. It's more about getting to live out something we've been dreaming about since we were kids, getting to be inside an 80s American slasher film and maybe even survive. You know, the ultimate fucking badge of honor, man. You survived Jason Voorhees. Did I really say Voorhees?
Voorhees.
Jay Voorhees. He's a horror. Voorhees, excuse me. So that's about all I've got, Matt. Closing thoughts? Anything to add?
I hope this is just the tip of the fucking iceberg, dude. I hope they do a fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre game.
Would you like to see a Nightmare game?
I'd like to see
like
Dead, Nightmare, fucking Phantasm. I don't give a fuck, dude. Give me them all.
Like, think about it. Like we're talking Nightmare 4 where, you know, that chick pulls everyone into their dream where you could do this same thing where one guy's Freddy and everyone else are the fucking Dream Warriors, you know? Yeah. Everybody gets pulled in. You got to fight off Freddy and make your way out of the dream. Dude, sign me the fuck up.
Dude, all of them, man. I'm
in. Dude, nice pull with Phantasm, by the way. You got me on that one. Fuck yeah. Or some Evil Dead.
Yeah, so I said Evil Dead, Texas Chainsaw. I mean,
we'd be fighting over who gets to play Ash, though. Yeah. I mean, everyone would want to be Ash. I mean, why the fuck? There might be some tension.
Yeah, Evil Dead might be a little tougher to pull off, but Texas Chainsaw, that's my wettest dream of all. That's my favorite movie ever, dude.
That could be an interesting one. That could definitely be interesting. I mean, I agree with you, Savage Man. I think this, given that, let's just take it as a fact that this is going to succeed. This is definitely going to open the door to a lot of other things, like bigger studios saying, like, wait a second, this is a profitable venture. I mean, look how much fucking money this thing made. Imagine a horror game with a budget behind it, like the size of Call of Duty, with that much money, like 60-70 million dollars behind it. Or I'm probably being conservative. Imagine what they could do with a budget that size. I mean, It's just the sky is the goddamn limit. I mean, it could be like a friggin' MMO Friday the 13th or something, man. This could go a million different ways, and this could just be something absolutely fucking special. I'm absolutely excited, man. That's literally all I have to say on this. Once again, Matt, closing thoughts, anything to add before we call it?
I got excited, dude. It better fucking come out on time. That's all I gotta say.
I'm pretty sure that it will, since they've already laid the groundwork for this.
Yeah.
I think if it does get delayed, it will be for a good reason. Meaning they're like, guys, we're delaying it, but this is what we're adding. Like they'll give you to add to it where you're like, okay, I don't mind waiting because this is going to be even more fucking awesome.
It would just be super cool though next October, dude.
I'm in. They've already got my money. So
maybe next year has a Friday the 13th they can release it on, really fucking make me shoot my blood boner.
That would be amazing. For the record, guys, I'm getting it on the Xbox One. So if you want to get in on this, man, if you got an Xbone, jump on this shit. Me, Tyler, Savage Matt, my buddy Aaron, dude, we're going to be fucking rocking this shit on Xbox One. You can guarantee that. Yes, Savage Matt?
Fucking A.
Damn's right. Team Retro Game Lounge. That's how we do shit. Well, Savage Matt, thank you for joining me on this. Everyone who tuned in, hello. Hi from the Retro Game Lounge. From myself and Savage Matt, watch Dirt Flicks and Nerd Bucket because they're the greatest two shows on the internet. And Retro Game Lounge. That's good too. So leave us a comment. Let us know, guys, let us know what you think about this. Is this a good idea? Are there any pitfalls that they should watch out for? What are you most excited about, man? Are you most excited to play Jason? You want to play the counselor? Are you most excited about both? What do you think? Leave us a comment. That's what YouTube's about. Your voice needs to be heard. I am Jimbo. That is Savage Matt. And this has been a Retro Game Lounge live broadcast. We will see you guys next time.